so we're looking at this lesson, or what we need to do the graphs. So once you have your start point, like at 2, 4, okay, you then plot that point at 2, 4. So we would go over 2 and up 4. So you go over 2 and up to that point 4. So that's plotting that point. Then we're using our slope of 3 over 2. Now if I'm using a slope of 3 over 2, I definitely can't go up 3, so I'm going to go down 3 and backwards 2. I'm going to go down 3 and backwards 2. Could it be really easy once I have that plotted to write it in slope-intercept form? Because I now see the y-intercept. What's my y-intercept graph when you look at that? What's my y-intercept of that one?
0, 1.
0, 1. So if I wanted to write this in slope-intercept, the equation would have been y equals, right, 3 over 2x plus 1. That's really easy to see that this is my y-intercept of 0, 1. I'm going up 3 and over 2. Again, it should go through a letter as you're getting the jokes on the bottom, okay? So make sure you have this side of the worksheet done, okay? So you have both sides of the joke sheet, okay? Do I need to go through any more in here? I want to get your, I'd really like to get your test back to you, and I want to go through this last one. Because what you're going to be doing on the worksheet today is you're going to be doing this worksheet. So put the worksheet aside. I don't want you doing it now. You need to finish your notes. So we're going to do problem 3 in your notes. We're going to leave problem 4 for Monday, and on Monday we'll probably also take a look at doing some online quizzes with your textbook, so you can kind of get an idea of how those are looking. So, using 2 points to write an equation. So I might give you a graph like this, and if you notice this one, like the y-intercept, it's kind of hard to tell when you look at this. It looks like it's like between 1.5 and 2, but we don't know exactly. So this is a nice way of doing it when you can't easily see the y-intercept on your graph. So the first thing you need to do in your homework tonight also is you need to start with finding the slope. So you're given 2 points, we want to find the slope. If I'm finding the slope, Kaylin, tell me what I might be subtracting. Which point do you want to use for your y2? Negative 3. So we're going to put negative 3 minus, keep going, minus 4. And then tell me my x coordinates that you're putting down. Minus 1, right? If we are looking at this, so we should subtract negative 3 minus 4 gives us negative 7. Negative 2 minus 1 gives us a negative 3. We should leave our slope as 7/3. Do not change it to a mixed number. Don't change it to a decimal. This is our rise over run. Does that make sense? If we count up, did we go up 7 and over 3? Exactly, right? So we could have counted, right? Went up 7 and then went over 3, okay? That's our slope, 7/3. So now it says, okay, we want to write an equation using the point negative 2, 3. And if they don't tell you which point, you could use either one. So in your homework, if they don't tell you which one, you can use either one. So you have to pick a point. We're going to pick negative 2, 3, the first negative 3. We are going to put that in. So we're going to go with y minus. If I'm substituting in Addison, I'm going to have y minus what? What is my 3? So y minus a negative 3. My slope, if I'm filling that in, Lauren, was? Wait. Just my slope first. 7/3, good. And now, the x I'm going to put in as a negative 2. So if I'm writing my final answer, I want you to get rid of all those minus and negatives, right? So as we are looking at those, our final solution to this problem should be, Daniel, if I'm writing it? Do you have a question?
No.
Okay, what did you have? Y what?
Y plus 3.
Y plus 3 equals?
7 over 3 x.
Plus 2? Yes. So both of them are going to become pluses, right? So if you have negative ordered pairs, when we do point slope form, they both become a plus for each one of those, okay? We are not going to look at this example right now. What I want want you to look at is your worksheet. Oh, I need to give you your worksheet. So, on your worksheet, if we are looking at, I'm going to give you the C2 worksheet. So you have your joke one. You want to make sure you have the back of that done. Before you leave here today, I need page 291 and 298 turned in to me. 291 and 298. Okay? I am going to hand back to you. I just want to look at the questions on this first. I handed back a couple other quizzes, or another quiz and a paper before the last unit test. So you should have those kind of sitting on your desk that I handed back while you were at lunch. Yep, I'll pick them up in just a minute. As you look at that C3 worksheet, okay? So the C3 worksheet, you are going to be looking at doing 1 to 13. Okay? On that C3, you're going to look at 1 to 13. As you take a look at question numbers 1 through 4, what form does it ask you to write it in? Slope intercept. That means the answer must be in slope intercept. You're not going to start in slope intercept because they give you a point and they give you a slope, right? So when you start number 1, you might want to, and you might at the top of this worksheet want to put that point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. The steps for number 1 is you're going to start by filling in that equation with the numbers that were given. So when you take a look at that, and they told us our point was 2, 1, and the slope was 3, you're going to go with y minus equals, and then we should have, what's our y minus? Should it be 2 or 1? 1. Y minus 1. My slope is 3. X minus 2. Now you're going to use the distributive property here like we did at the beginning of the class, and you're going to get the y by itself, and my final answer will be y equals blank x, right? That's what I'm asked to get your answer, right? So you're going to use the distributive property. You got y minus 1 equals, you're going to distribute here, you're going to get the y by itself, okay? So you start in point slope. Your answer does not want to be in point slope, it wants to be in slope intercept, okay?